That's kind of cool. Okay, everybody. We got a new thing going on here. I got a new camera. All right. Coming to you live. Coming to you live. Look at that. There we go. Coming to you live. Here we are, Chester, Vermont, the greatest town within 1 mile of Chester, Vermont. We've got two people. It's summertime. I don't know what's going on. I've been working hard. Dan Arnold is here all the way from Lake George, and Bill Douglas is here all the way from Concord, New Hampshire. What we're going to do tonight is a workshop. We're going to let these guys workshop. Part of what's important for open mic comedians or people that are working on becoming comedians is getting stage time. And so that's why we do open mics, to get stage time, to get familiarity uh, behind a microphone, behind lights. That's what I'm doing right now. My goal is to see him really, really comfortable on stage and also be able to be funny. So I've been working a little bit too hard. I need to go around town and shake hands and kiss babies and get people to try to come out. This is the first summer that we're trying to do an open mic. I've been wanting to switch it to a weekday where people might have more time. Weekends people are busy. It's also a holiday weekend. So anyway, here we are. This is bugging me. I'm going to untrigger this. All right. Yeah. So I've been spending a little bit too much time admiring miners lately. I don't know if anybody else is into the show Gold Rush. I love Gold Rush. It's a great show. Gold miners, Freddie and Juan, they're gold miners that go out to help other miners. That's pretty cool. I've been trying to come up with humor around same sex relationships. And I think that's like a high wire act that I haven't been doing too well at. The other night, I asked two women if they were sisters, and I think they were a couple, and that didn't go over too good. And then the other thing I've been thinking about doing, I want to renovate upstairs. So I've been thinking about starting to become bisexual, not for the sex, but for try to get a gay boyfriend for the good taste and design skills that they have. So we'll see about that. I just have to tell the world I'm bi now and hopefully just not do anything physical, just kind of like a chick trying to get dudes to do stuff. I've been in that position plenty of times in my life. So, anyway, as far as the workshop goes, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to welcome my friend Daniel to the stage. I want everybody to realize we have two people that drove an hour and 40 freaking minutes one way to be here. And we got people in this freaking town that can't even come 2 minutes and show up and experience this. I'm not upset. Everything's fine. All right. And now, all the way from Lake George. I met him last fall around Halloween. He was a gay donut. Here he is, Dan Arnold, everybody!
Hey, one guy. Hey, one guy. America's 250th, huh? Yeah. How you feeling about that? I'm kind of nonplussed. Nonplussed? Yeah. Ah. Okay. That's cool. That's fine. I'm like really into it. I'm really into it. Yeah, I actually was watching a documentary on the Revolutionary War to prepare for it because I really have to prepare for July 4th. It's a big event 250 years later. The British might come back. No, but I saw this really cool painting of the Boston Massacre during it, and there was like a dog chilling while like everyone else was dying. So I wanted, naturally, I wanted to know who painted it, who made this engraving. It turns out Paul Revere actually stole that engraving from a man named Henry Pelham. So little did he know, uh, I'd be here 250 years later screaming, "The plagiarists are coming! Plagiarists are coming!" Yeah, that's cool. Let's get to a more modern political figure. I love explaining modern Gen Z slang to 45-year-old men. That's my favorite thing in the world. Like the other day, I had to explain what it meant to cook. Now, nowadays, we use the word cook, like cooking, to mean doing exceptionally well at something, which I will have no judge of whether or not I'm doing well at something tonight because there's no audience. I mean, no, there's totally nonsense. That suspension of disbelief broken within the second joke. You know, no, this is totally real. This is like Conan during COVID. But back on topic. I was explaining what it meant to cook to this 45-year-old man, and as I'm looking down on my phone, I'm getting the news that Hassan Piker, political Twitch streamer Hassan Piker, is getting subpoenaed by the U.S. government. Now, Fox News calls him up and tells him he's getting subpoenaed according to him. So I hate everyone in this scenario. Like Hassan Piker himself is kind of a divisive figure. So whether you love him or hate him, he might be arrested 2 months from now. The headline: Hassan Piker arrested for cooking. I think is something we could all laugh at. Working on that one. I was actually going to quit comedy after your show, Pinsky, but that joke, I got the news. It's like, okay, I'm quitting comedy after Pinsky's show, and I get the news that I literally see the news that Hassan Piker's getting subpoenaed. It's like, okay, I gotta make it. I gotta go back to the open mics and drag this joke around. I love dragging things around. Yeah, dragging shit. Because I got to drag 20 minutes. It's not like I to drag on and on. Uh, I work, I love my job. I love when they pull a fire alarm too. They pull a fast one on the fire alarm, because it leads to like dumb questions. But I don't believe there's anything. There's like such a thing as a dumb question because the question who pulled the fire alarm. It's just like no dumb questions, but like dumb people to answer. Because how the fuck am I supposed to know who pulled the fire alarm? Like, I'm honored you consider me to be someone with experience in this, the knowledge to answer this question, the qualification. So I pull all my experience in snark and sarcasm, and I give him the answer he's supposedly longing for. Sneakers are too. This made up character. Yeah, he's the only one who could have done it with the sneakers on. You think anyone here with shoes could have done it? Fake made up character. That's what you get. Uh, I have other jokes about work. Like it's a customer service position, so I'm dealing with a lot of people, and uh, it can lead to funny out of context bits. Like I'm serving this lady, and she brings her 2 kids, and they're constantly giggling. She wants a beer, obviously, because who wants to deal with the giggles for like 2 hours? It's funny because we're at a stand-up comedy open mic. No, but I have to see her ID for the beer, and uh, she asks, "Whose ID do you have to see?" Yours. The kids giggle. She holds up her ID. Uh, she sarcastically says, "I'm under 21." This leads to the wonderful quote by me. Totally got baited. Uh, You look so good for under 21. Yeah, weird line out of context, but I had to remind her. It's funny because she's old. No, it's funny because she's old. Uh, so now I have one coworker who chats me up and wants like funny stories when she clocks in now. So I'm recalling this story, the I'm funny because she's old story, to her. And she's chatting up a storm, and I tell her about it, and I accidentally go to my manager with the casual tone. So it's like, "Hey, Sue, you on Thursday?" Now she's like, "What did you say?" She's very strict about like casual tones. So she also has a hearing problem. Just I should have mentioned that she also has a hearing problem. So this is like the perfect opportunity. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use your hearing problem against her. I wasn't being casual with you, bamboozling her, sort of. That's a new one. Bamboozling my boss when you act when your coworker gets too chatty and you take that to your manager, that casual tone. This ain't Japan. No one cares. But if, if they are hard on you for casual speak, then make sure they have a hearing problem you can use against them. Yeah. Okay, so that new Toy Story's out, and the churches are really taking advantage of that. I feel like they're promoting it like you know those signs where you place the letter and like it's usually right outside of churches and McDonald's, two very sacred places. Talk about the arches. Uh, but the iconic they're using the iconic song by Randy Newman, "You Got a Friend in Me," to promote the Catholic Church. It's like, okay, cool. I mean, they could have gone for other songs in Randy Newman's catalog. Could you imagine Catholic Church Catholic Church going like short people got no reason to live. Boom. And I'm really hoping they don't find out what Randy Newman had to say making fun of rednecks. Eh? Like, don't talk about PewDiePie on the bridge. Very daring today. He's breaking out the Randy Newman impression. And if he embarrasses himself, there's only two people here. So it's really rehearsal. Guys, it's a workshop. Go easy on me. I'm stuttering so many times. This is my first open mic of the week. I decided not to go to Saratoga yesterday, the open mic on Friday, even though I'm totally dressed for the part. Uh, that is to say, Saratogians dress like complete douchebags. You two laughed at that. You get awarded this other upcoming line. I'm channeling Paul Revere, the famous plagiarist. So say he would have dressed in a polo. This isn't a polo. This is some brand I got. I got the kid from Zach and Cody to advertise it. Let's go with some oldies for the next 10 minutes. I got a deaf friend, a deaf one, a deaf one. And for those deaf people in the back, I got a deaf friend, and I recently had to learn sign language. So this, I think, I have to recall the sign language bit that I bomb every fucking time. Sorry. This is how are you, and this is coffee. And I believe these are the only two things I need to know for sign language, right? Like, how are you? They tell me how their day was. I can't hear it, and then I just ask for coffee. I say as if like I'm the deaf one in this theoretical scenario. It's a workshop, guys. Go easy on me. Oh God, I'm so bombing. I'm bombing. Really running the clock. He's crashing out again. He's crashing out. Last time I watched a Pixar movie, I crashed out in an open mic, so I'm making it a tradition every time Pixar has a new release. I watched Hoppers, 3 hours of sleep, came here, crashed out. It's still on YouTube. It's going straight on YouTube too. On my stutters. Damn it. They'll never watch me again. They all lost faith. Let's take another swig for that. Yeah. Let's see. Saratoga. I don't want to break up my phone. Usually I scroll Instagram this hour. Let's break up the perform. Let's break up with this. No, I'm breaking up with this. I'm breaking up with Pinske. Let's do some crowd work.
Oh boy.
This is one of the times I hope toys can come to life. Because I'd have like an extra audience member here talking Toy Story or two. The dog, he's really stalling for time. He really doesn't want to dip into old material. What did I do last time? Let's see this one. Last time I was in New York City, I'm trying to find a cool venue to do comedy, to where like I actually have to, step up my game. And I went to New York City. Most sugar I've had that day than in the past year. Okay, I've had more sugar that day than I had in the past year. And New York City's no walk in the park. Okay, it's no walk in the park. You're constantly dodging fentanyl zombies. So if I ever go somewhere more dangerous, I'm gonna have to pack like even more sugar. Like if I ever get shipped off to Iran, you're gonna have to leave some room in that plane for an entire crate of Twinkies. I could have delivered that one better. But we are workshopping this for 7 minutes. Okay. I'm trying to- How much can Dan stall? How much can he stall? Yeah, remember this? Remember 2017, guys? How much can he stall? Okay. It's on YouTube. Bill's compilation. I used to do this. I've done everything in my power to not break out the notepad. I've done literally everything in my power to not break out this notepad. But I think we're at a dead end here. Magic trick here. Really? Okay. I got the Paul Revere, Hassan Piker, Fire Alarm, Funny Because She's Old, Casual Talk with Manager, and Toy Story Church. So 20 minutes, guys. Can I really I went to a mic on happiness meds, and I ended up giggling like giggling through my sentences. So that's a way to extend like 7 jokes into 20 minutes. That's some good advice from a guy who's currently bombing. It's just giggle through your jokes. When a guy asks you to do 8 minutes and you only have like, or he asks you to do 20 minutes, you only have 8 minutes of material. I'm kind of fucked up right now. Yeah, I'm kind of like, as it is, I don't want to bitch about my sleeping pattern, but I'm kind of fucked up. Oh God, how's it going straight on YouTube? Trying to think. What are some classics I can pull? Just like a douchebag. I swear, this is the worst set I've ever done.
Do it good, Dan. You don't have to do a full 20 unless you want to.
I don't know. I kind of expected like more people, so like everything would be tighter.
Me too.
This God, they heard I was coming, and now they got scared off. That's I might just honestly, this is like,
What's topic? Bill, give him a topic.
give me a topic, yeah.
Cantaloupe.
Oh, cantaloupe. Has nothing to do with cantaloupe. I'm actually thinking of pickles right now. You got me reminded of a pickle joke. Some guy on Instagram like advised against starting jokes with people say I look like blank, but I've never heard of him. So we're starting the joke off with people say I look like Woody Allen, but I was watching some documentaries on the Battle of Britain, I think it was, and I think I look like a younger version of this guy, Herbert Furry, I think his name was. And the concept of the joke. This is a workshop, guys. He's talking about he's a survivor of the Battle of Britain, and he had to watch pickles. He was talking about the pickle shop exploding, and I want to be like that guy. I want to survive war and bad comedy sets and get a laugh out of it afterwards. Like try to deal with it through comedy, like watching pickles explode. Like, because Woody Allen is on the Epstein list, but this guy, if it's a crime to watch pickles fly all over the place, well, it might have been a crime back then, but here's hoping the people during the Battle of Britain couldn't recognize what it meant to watch pickles fly. Pickle being a metaphor for penis, and the man being gay. That's one that popped into my head. I was better at stalling for time when it was like a noisy bar, but when you're stalling for time by yourself, just watching two people like laugh maniacally in the live stream, realizing this is gonna be on YouTube and you have to see your own bomb later. This is a nightmare. This is like your old material that used to work isn't coming back to you when you promised yourself you were never gonna go on stage and take notes out. How's that Instagram feed doing, Dan? This is like the worst time to break my Instagram addiction. Because when push came to shove, if I was bombing on stage, I could just break out my phone. People would never see it coming. Break out your phone, not look at notes, but look at your fucking Instagram. Uh, Something about the breathing competition. Oh, we'll do the breathing competition one before we go. Okay, so I'm seeing this Instagram post, and it's a picture of SpongeBob on the phone, and he's like the caption. He's on the phone, and the caption's like, uh, "When you pick up your phone and they're dead silent, welcome to the breathing competition, motherfucker." And it got me thinking about like actual breathing competitions. Like you have to be kind of ableist to win those. If they actually existed, breathing competitions, like imagine losing to a guy with COPD. Like imagine breathing competitions existed and you're losing to the guy with COPD. No, I'm totally good at breathing competitions, man. I pick guys in wheelchairs, uh, people who slur their speech, just really, yeah, ableist. People in a hospital bed, their heart rates are slowing down, they flatline, and I won that breathing competition. I got a minute. Dude, I was really hyped to come to this. I drank like 6 cups of coffee. God, I was really excited. Well, I'm not doing the bottle flip thing again. I think we've successfully stalled for time. I think that's. I think I'll be able to survive FNL. See, there we go. Constant stutter. FNL, because that's my grade for this assignment. 20 seconds. Like, I'm not. I'll flip the bottle, but I won't flip the stool. That's not something I would never resort to unless I'm making fun of people who fuck the stool. That stool has been through so much. Steve, can you get me on stage, please?
Sure, Dan. God, I worked hard today.
And I didn't. I didn't work.
All right, everybody. Dan Arnold, everybody. Good job. Yeah, I do want to do an interview, Dan. So, you're working at a movie theater now? Could we say that out loud or not?
Yeah, I don't care.
And are people coming back to movies now? Are movies back a thing now?
It was kind of packed for Toy Story 5, but most of the time, it's it's dead. I work at the theater. It's dead, but like we got so many people for Toy Story 5.
Toy Story 5 was popular.
Yeah, it was like selling like hotcakes.
They closed the theater down in Claremont. It's not even going anymore. But there's a little theater in Springfield, the neighboring town that's doing pretty well. I need to go to the movies more. I used to like it a lot. But yeah, are you enjoying working there? Is it cool?
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool watching movies and like I've had customer service jobs in the past, but to work at a theater like so close to movies is, you know, I should have pulled out the cinephile joke, but maybe next time. I did it at your show. But I love movies, guys. I love movies. Like this, I'm really fucking over.
All right. Well, thank you for coming, Daniel. I really appreciate you making the trip. It's good to see you.
I look forward to watching this on YouTube.
Yeah, there you go, man. I think
Don't
you did
forget
good.
this.
You are a funny guy.
Maybe I'll come next week, and maybe there'll be people, and maybe
Well, we got to do something to promote the mic. Otherwise, we're gonna have to wait till fall when people want to be indoors again. But I appreciate you making the trip, Daniel. You're one of my favorite comedians. I really enjoy you. You're a funny dude.
how about you say that if I kill it and not if I bomb for 20 minutes?
You do it all the time. You're good. You what? One of the things that you have that I wish I had is a natural funniness. Like I don't think I look funny enough, and I think that yeah, I don't think that people perceive me as like a funny guy. So I have to kind of jump through hoops a little bit. You are like a character, and with that it's funny and it's fun and you're fun to watch. You have good mannerisms, your pacing is good, and I think what's going to happen, you want to come in here a little bit because you're going to be off the screen, is like, in my opinion, Daniel, you're like a puppy with big feet, and when you grow into those feet you're going to kill all the time. And I don't think you're that far off from it. I think you just got to be confident, keep doing the work, keep showing up. And once it all clicks together, it's going to be like one of those dudes that was on, minor league baseball for this amount of time. And all of a sudden they just started seeing the fastball smacking home runs and off they go to the big leagues. That's what I see for you, Daniel. How old are you?
Mid-20s.
Yeah, there you go, man. You're on your way. And you put in effort. That's the thing. You're driving this far, you're putting in the effort. It's freaking cool. All right, everybody in the audience, give Dan Arnold a big round of applause, everybody. Woo! Yeah, there you go. I didn't even get my, I got to turn this on.
I could see the mean comments.
Oh, that's really loud. All right, everybody. And now, I don't want to say it. No, I do want to say so. I've been feeling a little bit like I need to write more, and I want to write more. I've got a new employee. I'm trying to grow my business, and I got to balance all this stuff out. This winter, I was putting a lot of work into writing. Bill Douglas, everybody, he writes jokes. I see him often at Brightside. And last night, he came up with all kinds of new bits, and I was so impressed. And before you come up there, I just want to tell you, it was awesome. And I'm really impressed with your writing, and you're inspiring me. Bill, as Daniel drove an hour and 40 minutes to get all the way here for this amazing audience, let's give a big round of applause from Concord, New Hampshire. Bill Douglas, everybody! Woo-hoo! There he is.
We set this timer, Bill, and you'll be on your way.
I was on a show last week, and the host said I looked like a guy who would murder my wife in the room I keep my model trains. I risk getting blood on those babies. He totally assumed I had a wife. I do have a wife, but no model trains. No, this look comes from working with adolescents. That's right. This is 38 years of teaching middle school science. Yeah, and I just like to thank Walter White,
Oh my God.
Breaking Bad, for making science teachers cool. Although the shirt's probably good enough, huh? My sixth graders always ask why they need to learn the science. But the truth is, science explains our lives. Like, Daniel, you must remember the law of conservation of matter. Matter cannot be created or destroyed. It can only change hands at yard sales. Yeah. How about Newton's first law of motion? A body at rest remains at rest till his wife notices the lawn. Sound familiar? A lot of adults don't appreciate science. Did you know many of the stars we see may have burned out long ago? We just don't realize it. Polaris, Antares, Charlie Sheen. And if you don't appreciate science, you're liable to fall prey to pseudoscience. I got together with an old friend. She swears she can read minds. I said, hey, you know what? She said, no, what? I said, I thought so. Yeah. I spilled some yogurt at lunch and I showed a kid. I said, isn't that shaped exactly like Idaho? He said, I don't really know the shapes of countries. So a different kid, I said, what does that look like to you? He said, yo plate? How can kids know nothing about geography? They all have iPhones. No wonder the I is lowercase. If these kids don't know states, they'll never learn capitals. Yeah. Now, I shouldn't make fun. Middle school years are tough. Now you want to go back, right? Nah. They're tough years. You should see our schools lost and found. Thousands of dollars worth of hoodies and Nikes and iPhones. But don't take my word for it. Check out my Facebook marketplace. If it's up, it's still available. Yeah. It's amazing what some teachers use for bathroom passes. I have a plastic dinosaur, but the math teacher uses a ruler. What does she think a kid's going to do with that? I overheard a boy bragging of how many inches he was, and this girl goes, in your dreams, Dylan, the ruler's metric. They're millimeters. Back in the 90s, I don't think Gary knows this. Back in the 90s, I started our school's co-ed volleyball program. And in co-ed volleyball, boys and girls must alternate hitting the ball, or it's a penalty called a sex foul. And I swear, my kids messed up just to make me go, sex foul. And they thought they were so funny when they made up their own hand signal. 30 years later, my wife's made up her own hand signal for sex foul. Yeah. You have not lived until you've taught sixth grade sex ed. You think you've heard everything. Oh boy. Chloe, what's the most common way to get an STD? From having uncertified sex. That's right, class. Notarize those tramp stamps. Same question, different kid. Aiden, what's the most common way to get an STD? Well, my mom said she got hers from my dad. And that's when I started having 2 Christmases. But as if middle school's not bad enough, I had to fill in for high school sex ed. Right away, girls got a question. Why does sperm taste so salty?
Oh, God.
Dead silence, followed by synchronized head turning. Every boy in class wanted to take her to prom, or at least to the Barre Pinske studio. Yeah. I've been helping out the elementary school, a lot different than middle school. A third grader told me that I need to smile more. My mom says it takes more muscles to frown. I said, yeah, I know. I'm working out. And with all the allergies there are today, kids are not allowed to bring pets to show and tell unless they've got goldfish or turtles. They can bring photos, and a boy showed me a picture of his pet rabbit and asked if I like bunnies. I said, I love bunnies. They taste just like chicken. And then the way out, a girl pointed to two turtles who were mating, and she asked what they were doing. I couldn't say coming out of their shells. So I just said, oh, they're making friends. And she said, oh, back rub friends? My mom's got lots of back rub friends. I'm thinking, oh, is she hot? No. The astronomy teacher, right before I came down here, astronomy teacher sent me a video entitled 1 Minute Inside a Black Hole. And my first thought was, there's no way I'm opening that. Not on my school computer. Last year, I innocently clicked on a digital exploration of Uranus. I spent the next 2 weeks meeting with HR. My second thought was 1 minute inside a black hole. That was my high school fantasy. What would ever happen to LaShonda? I gotta tell you, my school is a cast of characters. Sean, the math teacher, is 60, and he's dating a 20-year-old. I think the lowest common denominator here are his morals. I said, Sean, if she's less than half your age, that is an improper fraction. By the way, you know how many times 60 goes into 20? Not as many times as he'd like. I didn't think you'd use math after history. Yeah. My wife doesn't think I should use Sean's real name in that joke. I said, don't worry. I changed the spelling. Believe it or not, I've been married almost as long as I taught, 31 years. That's how much enthusiasm she shows. After all this time, I cannot get used to the fact that she is never on time. And she can't get used to me always referring to her as my late wife.
Oh my God.
She loves it when I try out jokes in public, which is why she's not here. We're at a barbecue place. The waitress asked if I wanted a dry rub. I said, no, I chafe too easily. Yeah. We got a new neighbor. I love her, but she just got a Jack. What's the name of the stupid little terriers?
Jack Russell.
Thank you. Thank you, Barry. She got a Jack Russell Terrier. Don't get me wrong. I love dogs, but yappy little ones, I can't. If it comes down to a yappy little dog or dying alone, I'm dying alone. But she swore her dog was different, and he is. She brought him over the first time, had him sit down outside the door and said, wait, wait, wait. Okay, come. And in he came. My wife could not believe it. She said, you taught him that in 2 weeks? I've been trying to teach Bill that for 31 years. We've been working on that and no begging. We have friends who just made a sex tape and uploaded it onto the internet. If my wife and I ever made a sex tape, it would be just for us. It's not like we're going to send out a lot of Christmas cards. Our love life's kind of tame. And if ours ever ended up on the internet, the worst part wouldn't be the invasion of privacy. It would be that it would be approved for all audiences. But maybe we'll get spicier in our golden years. You know, take off our socks. Yeah. My wife insisted on buying a split king adjustable bed. You guys know those? You know, they're like twin mattresses on independent adjustable frames, expensive, but worth it because I like my half to be in a slight incline, and she likes her half to be in the guest room. Yeah. went to a yard sale with her, and my wife found an old Superman action figure, but his arms and legs wouldn't move. I'm like, huh, must have been from when after he got thrown by that horse. Yeah, I got oohed last night. Like, it's an action figure we're talking. Okay, an inaction figure. Yeah. Kryptonite wasn't as big of a problem with gravity, it turns out. I have been drinking a probiotic, um, a probiotic yogurt drink for digestion, and it says for best results, shake. So I've been. I don't feel better, but I do feel sexy. My wife saw me and she goes, "I hope your digestion's better than your dancing." You know, Barry, you're almost as old as I am, and your perspective changes. Daniel doesn't know this yet. Your perspective changes as you get older. As a kid, I feared nothing more than a dentist probing for cavities. Now that I'm in my 60s, I've met other doctors who probe other cavities, and the prep's way worse than frost. I saw a cardiologist for the first time. He ran a tube from my groin to my heart. Can you imagine? Next time I lock my keys in the car, I'm not calling AAA. I'm calling that guy. Yeah. Make some noise if you know that the caps on ballpoint pens have little holes, so if you swallow one, you can still breathe.
I did not know that.
Did not know that. You knew that, Daniel? Hopefully not from practice. Hopefully they just heard about it, not from surviving it. Anyway, holes in pen caps completely make survival of the fittest not do its thing. Why are we saving these people? Swallowers of pen caps are not curing cancer. Let them go. But if you think about it, either there were a lot of people swallowing pen caps before the holes, or it was the same few people doing it over and over again. Either way, let them go. Their gene pool does not have a deep end. Yeah. Now, on the way here, I saw a sign that said 35 New Hampshire highway deaths. Isn't one too many? And I'm thinking, depends on the one. Yeah. Barry's talking about being down in Georgia for a car. I was down that neck of the woods. I was in Alabama. And the guy I travel with is super healthy. He makes his own almond milk. And so he carries a mesh bag to crush almonds in. And we were unloading my car at the hotel. I said, "Could you grab my backpack?" He said, "If you'll grab my nutsack." Older lady in the next car is staring at us. And she goes, "I support you, gentlemen, and your lifestyle." Yeah, it's Pride Month. Let's grab our friend's nutsack. Yeah, but then in Gaffney, South Carolina, we saw the wildest water tower. Not only was it painted like a peach, it was shaped like one. It even had a prominent cleft. It was pretty impressive, but yeah, it was a pretty impressive butt. I can't believe its spindly water tower legs can support such a big old peach. Yeah. Gaffney, South Carolina will welcome you and moon you. Yeah. And then in Alabama, we saw a bowling alley named Boll Weevil Lanes. A boll weevil is a beetle that destroys who names their place after a destructive pest? Well, I'll forget all the locust streets around. But anyway, that's like opening a bowling alley in West Africa and calling it Ebola lanes. What's next? You turn on the TV in East Asia. It's like, oh my God, my favorite show, Dancing with the Stars. It even beats lice hockey. Yeah. And then on the way home, passing through West Virginia, I saw this sign: brush up on your Bible. It prevents truth decay. No offense, but I don't think West Virginians brush up on much. Except a cousin or two. Yeah. I mean, I get wooed by that too. It's like, I didn't give them that reputation. They pop out of the womb holding bottles of Mountain Dew, and they have their own flavor down there. Mountain, do your sister. But you didn't think I had enough inbreeding jokes in the whole class. I'm a teacher. I'm prepared. Yeah. Friends honestly worry about all the driving I do, but most accidents occur within 5 miles of home. You probably heard that, right? Well, as a teacher, I go a step farther. I've taught over 5,000 kids, and I'd say most accidents happen in the bedroom. Yeah, not your kids. Your kids are perfect. I live in New Hampshire, so I feel like most other states are beneath me. If you're not laughing, wait till you see a map, you'll love it. And Barry, be interested in this. I like making wooden cutting boards for friends shaped in the state they live in. I made one for my Vermont friend, but he put it on the wall upside down. I told him what he did. He goes, "Oh yeah, I was born in New Hampshire." Most people get that. Can't do that very far from doing that. And I have mastered making cutting boards shaped like the state of Colorado.
Is that rectangle or square?
One time a woman goes, "It's a square, like it's a rectangle. Who am I to burst her bubble?" I gotta say, Barry, and he's from my neck of the woods. Vermont's a lot different than my home state of Wisconsin. You know, I bet when Vermonters learn that 70% of the earth is covered by water, they must assume the other 30% is covered by Ben and Jerry's. So what's better? That was a known question. I could do it that way. They must assume the other 30% is covered by Ben and Jerry's. Or is it equivalent to they must assume the other 30% is covered by Creamies, craft beer, and Ben and Jerry's? And just do one or three? What do you think? It doesn't matter.
3.
You think three? When Vermonters learn that 70% of the earth is covered by water, they must assume the other 30% is covered by Creamies, craft brew, craft beer, and Ben and Jerry's. You like three better?
I like 3.
What do you think, Daniel? Three or one, or you don't really quibble? I'm really happy to be here, Barry. All the stuff you're doing for this. In fact, I'm lucky to be here because this morning at Home Depot, I'm walking back to my car, and a guy backing up his parking space missed me by that much. 8 inches. Can you imagine? You're like, there we are. That's your last picture taken with a backup camera. That's the picture I want sitting in my coffin at the end. How did Bill die? Apparently, as a coward. Yeah. But a lot of times, just getting to the show is half the battle. I had a show last week at the Chameleon Club, and I had a heck of a time finding the place. I kept thinking it was a leaf. Yeah. When my son was in first grade, not only am I a teacher and a husband, I'm also a father. When my son was in first grade, I volunteered at a school fundraiser where families paid money to play board games. They needed to hire more teachers because the school was way overcrowded. As I'm sitting at my game table, another parent walked over and said, "I don't know if you realize, but some of those game pieces are choking hazards." I said, "I don't know if you realize, but we're trying to reduce class size." El Douglas, problem solver. My son was always a different kid. When he was 8, he grabbed the newspaper and started reading the obituaries. He said, "Oh, I never knew people died in alphabetical order." I didn't say anything. I just let him believe it because his name is Zach. Yeah. And I never thought he was too young for marital advice. He once asked why there are old wives' tales, but not old husbands' tales. I said, because who's ever lived that long has learned to keep his mouth shut. Yeah. And when he was little, our cat bit off the beak of his rubber ducky. And he asked if I could fix it. I said, "Well, maybe if I was a plastic surgeon." He said, "You mean rubber surgeon?" I said, "Trust me, if I knew anything about rubbers, we wouldn't be having this conversation." The kids grow up so fast. Before I knew it, I'm driving into art school, 600 miles in a car with an 18-year-old. Anything I brought up, he knew better. Out of the blue, he goes, "Hey, Dad, what do you think about assisted suicide?" I said, that sounds so good right now. I was going to suggest Dairy Queen, but remember, folks, I teach middle school. I'm not against euthanasia, only youth. All right, nailed it with 12 seconds left. Thank you so much for arriving tonight. Barre Pinske, I'm Bill Douglas.
That was awesome.
That is cool. That is cool having that because I could kind of where I was.
I'll do just a quick little interview. Do you mind?
Absolutely.
So Bill, how long have you been doing stand up?
I've been doing it almost exactly like to the month 8 years.
8 years.
18, 2008, yeah.
Wow.
And I did my first time doing comedy was an open mic, mixed mic. I didn't know there were things like comedy mics only in Grand Marais, Minnesota.
Oh, really?
Friends of ours who had run the house.
Yeah.
On Lake Superior, and there was a mixed mic, so I did my very first open mic.
So have we talked about the fact that I grew up in Minnesota? You just
I think you and I probably talked about, but I also know from your Facebook page, Minnesota, and your dad jokes, and so I do that. Of course, I prick my ears out.
Yeah, I grew up in Minnesota there, Bill, and it was good, and then I spent a lot of time in Wisconsin. My aunt Dardar lives in Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah.
Where did you grow up in Wisconsin?
Madison.
Madison.
Born and raised.
I had the best time in Madison when I was in my 20s. I traveled with a lumberjack show. And we did boat sport and travel shows around the country, and we did one in Madison, and that's when Madonna was popular. And I met a girl out at a bar. She was in college, and we ended up hanging out, and I went back to see her, and I carved a giant wooden penis and brought it to her college, and I put it in her dorm room, and the girls came and looked at it, and the reactions that I got were like so incredible. My stomach hurt like for 2 days after because I was laughing so hard. Some girls would sit on it, some girls would act gross, some girls would stroke it. And like I came into the campus with this wooden penis over my shoulder, and the girl was so cool. And after Facebook came out, she found me on Facebook, and we're friends on Facebook now. We've messaged back and forth. She's got a family and kids, and yeah, really
That's
neat.
pretty cool.
Yeah, Madison is fun.
Madison's a fun city.
I really I had a lot of good times in Wisconsin in memory. So how long did you live there?
I graduated from college when I was 22 and then moved to New Hampshire, started teaching. So I've been in New Hampshire most of my adult life.
You moved here for a career then.
Yeah.
So I have you been to Chris Farley's crypt there?
No, but my friend played football against him because we're the same basic age. And so he went to a Catholic school, high school in Edgewood.
Yeah.
And Edgewood and Madison West played. So my friend went against Chris Farley.
I went there
grave.
last what was it, last year before, when I drove home to Minnesota. Had a little bit of time and went there. Yeah, it was pretty moving. He's in a building, in a crypt, I think they call it, not in the ground.
You were allowed to walk into the building.
It's open all the time, and it's kind of like a thing.
Is it just him in that building? Or
No, it's a whole building, and then there's like a front room and like a place to, it's seats and a place to pray, and like we could have a small service there. And then there's like a hallway, like this room here, basically, with a wall and then a hallway, and then the great big thing right up on top that says Christopher and his middle name Farley, and then a little saying.
Yeah, a friend of mine went to see. I grew up with him, but he lives in Seattle now and was back in Madison the last year or two. And he went to see Chris Farley also.
Yeah, they changed the street name too outside of it to Farley Street. Yeah, I think it says Farley Street or Christopher Street or something. One of the other. Yeah, it was quite moving. So, Bill, I know that you're trying to do comedy in every state.
Yeah.
Do you have goals like to be like professional and get paid more? What are your goals as a comedian?
That's a good question. Because I'm retired, I don't have to make money doing comedy, and so I get paid at a lot of shows, moderate to small amounts, and I do a lot of shows like at public libraries for no pay to get my states in. So my goal is basically just to keep trying to get better.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep elevating my game.
And how so and like I think you're a little different than Daniel and I in your jokes. You do a lot of wordplay. So that's a clever sort of mindset. Marcus Monroe does that with his skits on the subway in New York City.
Okay.
Have you seen him?
No.
Yeah, he does. He dresses up in characters and then does word plays on the subway with a mic, and then they show pictures of the crowd that these people aren't expecting it. But I really like wordplay types of jokes and admire that. Do you treat that like a puzzle or a craft? How do you write those?
Yeah, unlike most people, my problem is I write way too many jokes and I only have maybe a 5 minute open mic time. And I'll maybe try to get to 3 open mics in a week with the same 5 minutes. And then I can kind of, all right, these jokes don't belong. Like last night we were Brightside, I got rid of 3 that I'd been working on. It's like, no, they're not good enough. And then jokes, if they're the best, better than average for my set at all 3, then I try them in shows.
I see.
But it's hard. An open mic joke that's good when it goes up against all my proven show jokes. It's hard to, you know, it's hard to get new
Put in.
show jokes. It's like, still not good enough. So I gotta not be married to some jokes I like.
Yeah.
We all do that, though. We all like some jokes better than everybody else.
Well, and I think so. I guess again, one of the things that I'm struggling with right now is like I think, yeah, I have to get through this. I think I'm kind of getting through this, and I kind of be interested in Daniel's opinion on this too. It's like I I feel like I want to be funnier, and I don't like doing my same jokes over and over and over. But if I was a touring comedian, that's what I would be doing, just like me carving bears and polishing them and tightening them up.
Adding to them.
Yeah, and so that's really what I should do. But I feel like I like making sports metaphors. I made one earlier about baseball, and I think David Ortiz is a good example. When he played for Minnesota, he was okay, but when he got to the Red Sox, he became really, really good.
Yeah.
So some people say it was steroids or whatever, but I have a feeling that he learned to see the ball better. Something clicked. So my point is, I'm trying to figure out how to get a higher level of entertainerness, whatever the hell, or be a better entertainer and have higher quality jokes. And I kind of want it yesterday, when that isn't really what happens with this.
There's no shortcut. The professional comedians I know, or the comedians who are better than I am, all say I shouldn't be doing as many new ones, but you got to do it for yourself. And you asked my goal. My goal is to try to keep getting better and have fun and enjoy it. And so I already know with my personality, I'm not going to do the same 10, same 10, same 10, same 10. I'm going to do a bunch of proven jokes in the middle. I'm going to throw in my new ones to see if they can.
Yeah, that's what Bitsy Byron suggested to me too, to throw the new ones in the middle. But yeah, I don't know. I have to decide what I want from this. I think for me, the camaraderie, the surprisingly, the comedy group of people I find to be really nice and supportive, and like no other group I've ever been a part of. I mean, like my lumberjack buddies, we traveled and did shows. It was just a group of us, like a team.
Right.
But I feel like our open mic group that we have, nobody's like trying to stab anybody else in the back. Everybody's supportive. We all think Holly's the funniest. And we all want to support her and Nathaniel, and it's really, really cool. It's really
Yeah, I
cool.
think one of the hardest things when you're starting out, or even when you're not starting out, is how do you determine if a joke is funny? It's like, well, you get laughs, yeah, but so this mic doesn't do well, that means it's bad. So you have to kind of have to have a variety of.
Well, that's my problem that I'm having. God damn it, Bill, that's my problem that I'm having, because I really want to do lesbian gym teacher jokes. And then when they go to Bright Side and it's all them gals, and then they think they're bisexual. Well, they're like when I was a kid and then you got a pair of bell bottoms and you thought you were cool. That's what they're doing. They're not really bisexual. But if I do shit like that, they're gonna get mad at me there.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I got a friend, like comedian friend in California. We do a lot of Zoom open mics, and he'll do trans jokes. And like, I don't think a trans joke's gonna easy like in the '70s.
yeah.
I don't think a white 70-year-old Jewish guy is gonna have much luck with trans.
Yeah,
jokes.
well, I think that's the whole problem. Just being an old white guy, it's not a good time to be an old white guy for a number of reasons. None of which were my fault, Bill, but I seem to get blamed for them. I am not Bill Clinton. I'm not Epstein. I'm not Weinstein. I'm none of those guys. And I didn't have slaves either. But I get blamed for everything now. You know anything about that?
No.
On that note, well, thank you, anybody who's watching, for tuning in. I really appreciate two of my favorite talented people showing up here, driving all this way. I hope this was a good workshop for you guys. Every time I've done this, it's been an interesting experience. I'm trying to stay positive, and it's really cool. So thank you guys for coming, and we'll do it again soon.
Thank you, Barry.
Put that in that thing there. We'll turn this off. Yeah, it was fun. Really fun.
You gotta get to bed early to get up.